So we haven't talked about Joe Rogan on the stream for a little while, and honestly, that's a good thing, because every time I bring him up, it's always really bad. So I'm bringing him up. Rogan, through the entire COVID pandemic, has almost never had a good take. It's always his take on masks were awful. We didn't go over that in a specific video, but this time I think this time it's so bad. I think it's probably time to take a look. So what is it? Joe Rogan has another take on COVID, and obviously that's bad because every time he has to take on COVID, it's bad. This time though, I think he's probably gone a little too far. Rogan decided that he's going to take a swing at talking about vaccines. So let's see what he has to say.
And people say, do you think it's safe to get vaccinated? I've said, yeah, I think for the most part it's safe to get vaccinated. I do. But if you're like 21 years old and you say to me, should I get vaccinated? I go, no. Yeah. Are you healthy? Are you a healthy person? Like, look, don't do anything stupid, but you should take care of yourself. You should, if you're a healthy person and you're exercising all the time and you're young and you're eating well, and like, I don't think you need to worry about this.
What the fuck, Joe? Why? Why even speak, Joe? Anti-vax is one thing that drives me up a wall. Well, I hope you got your favorite wall ready, because why? Why even say this? What's the point? Genuinely curious, right? Just tell people to get the vaccine. It's fine. There's literally no reason not to get the vaccine. Everyone should be vaccinated. And it's always about dying. It's not always about dying. What about you killing someone else by passing on the vaccine, by passing on the virus? Like to someone who would accidentally pass it to their parents or their grandparents or a kid or a friend who's immunocompromised or something along those lines, who can't get it. Just get the vaccine. It's really not that hard. Why tell people not to? I'm sorry. No matter how many deadlifts you do, no matter how much broccoli you eat, okay, no matter how much pro-workout you guzzle, it's not going to protect you from not getting the virus. Some people are asymptomatic. Some people are not. This doesn't, just because you may not be asymptomatic, you may be asymptomatic does not mean that it's just okay for you to skip out on getting the vaccine just cause. It's ridiculous, and this shouldn't be this way. Just get it. Just get the vaccine. Fear Factor guy is now a health expert. Yes, time for him to give his healthcare expertise. It's ridiculous, dude, to think that this in any way, shape, or form is reasonable for you to be like, oh yeah, just don't get the vaccine, dude. Just do a mile on the treadmill, dude, and you'll be okay, my man. Just drink a gallon of water, my guy, and you'll be fine. There are lots of people. And the thing is, it's not even, there's lots of other symptoms that can come from COVID: blood clots, coughing, pneumonia, a loss of memory, depression. It can exacerbate mental health conditions. All of these things aren't dying, but they make your life worse. And that on top of being able to pass the virus to someone that could kill them. We have 500,000 Americans who are no longer with us because of this virus. Why in the world are you giving anybody any reason not to give it? Not to get the vaccine? Why? What's the point?
There's a lot of jobs that will tell you need to have this.
Well, that's what's starting to happen now.
People are worried about them doing it for their children. And we talked about this earlier. Yeah. There's that you might have to have your children vaccinated. And, you know, I can tell you as someone who's both my children got the virus, it was nothing. I mean, I hate to say that. If someone's children died from this, I'm very sorry that happened. I'm not in any way diminishing that. But I'm saying
But let me diminish it real quick.
Personal experience that my children had with COVID was nothing. One of the kids had a headache. The other one didn't feel good for a couple days. Yeah. Like maybe
cool, dude. And you know what? In that time, they probably gave it to another kid or another person or a teacher, and through that, someone could have died.
No big deal. No coughing. Right. No achy. No like in agony. There was none of that. It was very mild. It was akin to them getting a cold.
Yeah, and you can have this thing where it's
all right. It's anecdote battle. My brother got COVID and he couldn't walk for, what was it, 2, 3, 4 weeks? He basically couldn't walk. He had to have crutches. He had to drag himself around his apartment. He was out of work because he had COVID. The muscle pains were so bad. It was really bad. It was really bad. We were pretty scared for him, actually. So yeah, this is no laughing meme. There are lots of people who get, I think 12 million people, they're approximating had COVID, but out of that 12 million, 500,000 died. Now you could be one of those 12 million who got it and you're still kicking, but out of those 12 million, even though all of those didn't die, once again, we're not just talking about death. You passed it on to someone who could have died or someone who could have had long-lasting problems. I know Merrick specifically talked about how when she got COVID when she was 26, she's still fighting a cough from last year. So
it's like you were saying, this virtue signaling and this kind of like theatrical display of I get the vaccine, what a good person I am, I care about everyone. But you're like, look, my daughter's.
Well, you may not be like grade A best human being ever, but that does put you a step above people who pretend like they don't need the vaccine because they drink apple juice in the morning.
A lot younger than your kids, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not injecting my daughter with something to fucking virtue signal. Like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
If there's something that she's of no risk, statistically has no risk from, I'm sorry, I'm not taking any experiment on her in that.
Experiment. The experiments were already done. It's out of trial. There's no experiments. Imagine saying that about a seatbelt. I'm not putting my kid in a seatbelt. I'm not putting Ford's experiment on my kid to virtue signal. You fucking dipshit. You horrible human being. What's wrong with you? My friend's family died from COVID. Experiment. Why are you experimenting with other people's lives to think that you have the right to put them at risk because you don't feel like you want to care about other people? Oh, tell me about experiments. I'm losing my freaking mind, dude, that these dipshits think, oh, federal prison, death penalty in some jurisdictions after being convicted by a jury of their peers. What awful people. Oh my goodness. I'm fuming. Honestly, I'm fuming. And here's the thing, right? You get a great analogy would actually be car crashes. There are probably some people here who have been in a car crash, or some people who know people who have been in a car crash, or know people who have died in a car crash. Who knows? You know, I watched some ghost stories. Who knows? Maybe we have some people here who died in a car crash. I don't know. But your likelihood, typically, of dying in a car crash is very low, extremely low. It's so low, it's hard for you to even perceive dying in a car crash. We have 40,000 deaths from car accidents a year from like 300 million people, and almost all of them were probably in a car at some point in time during that year. Man, that's really low. But you being in a car, your likelihood goes up. You speeding in a car, your likelihood goes up. You not wearing your seatbelt in the car likely goes up. Your absolute risk of dying in a car crash is extremely low, but your relative risk, once you start making mistakes and not taking care of yourself, goes up dramatically. Same with COVID. You walk around with no mask, you hotbox COVID with a bunch of your dipshit friends in a studio while you pretend like all of you don't need masks because you drink orange juice and you and you ran half a mile the other day. That increases your risk of getting sick from COVID, having symptoms from COVID, having long-lasting symptoms from COVID, and passing on COVID to someone else who won't be as lucky as Joe Rogan's kids to just have a cough. I don't know. It's always extreme. Don't you think it's so extremely interesting how lots of the people who always say that, oh, you don't need to do it, champ, just eat an orange and you'll be fine. Oh, just do a couple deadlifts and you'll be cool. All of these people are the richest, shittiest people in the entire world. Joe Rogan with his hundreds of millions of dollars, with his hundreds of millions of listeners, with in his like millions and millions of dollar mansion, with hundreds of millions of dollars sitting in the bank probably, with his show, with the most popular podcast in the world, richest podcaster. Sitting here can tell you, Joe Rogan, Wake up. Sitting here can tell you, my man who can have access to the like highest echelons of healthcare for him, his family, his friends, and anyone else he wanted, just up there. And he could do it with a snap of his finger. He could write a check and he could have the best healthcare professionals at his very doorstep taking care of him hand and foot. Freaking hook him up with every single drug no matter what, period. All of these people, these are the only people that you really see out there talking about, oh, you can, yeah, just walk off COVID, champ. You'll be perfectly fine. When they don't have to care. They'll be okay. You want to talk about experimental drugs? All the experimental drugs they have the access to, all right? Your grandma doesn't. Your grandma who's fucking cutting pills because she can't afford to keep her lights on and to get all of her medicine. I'm sorry, she can't afford the same healthcare as Joe Rogan. You should not take the same precautions as him. Honestly, he should take the same precautions as you to help protect other people. But who cares about other people when I could care about myself? So tasty. It's a beautiful thing. So Rogan goes on with this freaking meat trap to complain about how other people want them to take vaccines to save someone's life or something. Petty shit. But he got shitted on for this extremely hard, and obviously he had to walk it back. Oh, and boy, was this a backpedal. Let me tell you about this backpedal, okay? Like I said earlier in the stream, I knew that Joe Rogan did MMA, but I did not know that he was a cyclist because this backpedal was fucking incredible to watch. Take a look. All right, just take a look real quick about what this guy had to do on this show.
The thing, like all these people that are saying, and in many ways, listen, here's the thing. These are not like planned statements. Let's be real clear. Yeah. When I say something stupid, I'm not thinking about what I'm going to say before I say it.
He's backpedaling, dude. He's going. Look at him go. Oh no, he hit it into high gear in reverse.
I'm just saying it. Right?
I'm just saying things. I just say things. How about you think before you say them, Joe? How about that? How about you put some time into the things that you say? How about you put some thought into the things that you say? Joe, how about that? I think that'd be great, personally.
I don't have an off-air and on-air voice. I don't.
No.
I have me. This is it.
I don't care about my platform, and I say horrible, dangerous things to my audience all the time. I love how he has to rattle off this shit to a new guest every single time. This guy is just sitting here like, yep. What's this guy even here for? To talk about his new book or something? I don't even know. Who is this guy?
Yeah. I got through the fucking net, and I'm swimming in open waters. Okay? Yeah. And that's just how I live.
Yeah.
I don't, like, if you say you disagree with me, I probably disagree with me too. I disagree with me all the time. If
you have literally no care for what you say, you're uneducated on everything that you talk about outside of, I don't know, mixed martial arts, hand-to-hand combat, some sports, some TV shows, maybe. Outside of that, why? Why are you going on about it? Genuinely curious. Why? What's the point? If you can do damage to the world with your massive platform, why are you wielding it with such little care? Why? Why? I posit you this question. One word, 3 letters, and put a question mark on the end. Capitalize the W. Why?
If someone said, you have, young, healthy, 21-year-old people who eat well and exercise are not at high risk for coronavirus, but you should think about other people, I would say, well, that's a different argument, and yes, that makes sense.
No, he went over that. He was like, the guy sitting next to him, I'm not going to inject my kids with experimental drugs to make other people feel good. And he was sitting there nodding his bald ass along. No. You can backpedal all the fuck you want. That shit's still there. And I'm not going to forget it. And I hope nobody else does either. That's ridiculous. To be like, see, I actually do care about people. They just didn't ask me if they should care about people. Okay, buddy.
But I would say, aren't those people vaccinated? And shouldn't we vaccinate the vulnerable people?
Yeah.
And then we'd have a different conversation.
Right.
The problem is today, everything's all headlines and highlights, and it's all click.
You can't really complain about the headline when the words in the headline come out of your mouth. When Joe Rogan said, when the headline is Joe Rogan doesn't think 21-year-old people should take the COVID vaccine. And then he says 21-year-old people shouldn't take the COVID vaccine. You can't, it's kind of hard for you to start complaining about that. It's kind of hard. If you disagree with me, good. I'd probably disagree with me too. But when my guests are Alex Jones and Ben Shapiro, hey, look, guys, it's me, Joe Rogan. The shit that falls out of my mouth is just the last person I talk to. Hey, guys, I just say shit. It's okay.
Clickbait, which is fine. That's the business.
Yeah.
And I have a deep respect for real journalism. I love Glenn Greenwald and Matt.
I gotta go. My people need me. Goodbye. I have to get out. Goodbye. I have to go. Glenn Greenwald. I have to go. See you later, guys. What? I love real journalism. Glenn Greenwald.
Taibbi and people that stick their fucking neck out and do real journalism. But there's a lot of people out there that have to make a fucking living.
And now he's gonna go start complaining about how everyone else started clickbaiting him, even though in all of the articles, the words that he wanted came out of his mouth. The clickbait came out of his mouth. It's not clickbait when you actually say the things. You say the thing. That's not clickbait. It's not bait then. It's just things that you said.
And what's the best way to make a living? Well, here's one way. Take a jackass like me. Go over their podcast. Go over this 3-hour drunken, ridiculous podcast. Did we drink with Dave? Yes. No. Dave Smith?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
Hey, guys, I was drunk. Did I drink? No. Oh.
I don't think we
Probably not.
drank.
Oh, damn. You say that shit sober? Yeah.
No, probably not.
But that's unusual.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're drinking or,
Every time I'm
or
here.
we're high,
Yeah.
you know, and I say stupid shit. I get it. And if you mind that and you make money off of that, more power to you.
Sure.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Right.
But just don't lie. Just don't lie.
Right.
Get a little clickbaity. We're good.
Yeah.
That's
I'm,
okay.
But I'm not gonna lie.
Let me
Who lied? Who lied? Can he point to an article where someone lied? Genuinely curious.
say one other thing. I was going to get the vaccine. I was scheduled to.
Oh, and here it is. Yeah, I mean, I talked at length about how I drink orange juice and I did a mile on the treadmill, so I don't need to take the vaccine. But I was going to actually. Okay, buddy. Okay.
To get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The UFC had allocated a certain amount of vaccines for all their employees.
Right.
And so Dana said, do you want to come in and get the vaccine? I said, sure. What day? And he said, we'll set one aside when you come in for the fights. Come get vaccinated. I said, okay, great.
But he didn't, and he's still not vaccinated. Thank you, Joe. It's beautiful. It just keeps getting better. Backlash works at least a little bit. At least holds him a little bit accountable to the things that he says. Don't let him just get away with saying dumb shit 24/7. All right, because they're gonna use this excuse every single time. It was 3 hours. Listen. When you stream for 3 hours, that gives you 3 hours worth of time to say even worse stuff. And you know what? They tried to make it happen a lot. Absolutely ridiculous, goofy. They need to stop. It just gets worse every single time, you know? Please get the vaccine. Just go get it. It's not going to hurt you. You'll be okay. All right? And you'll be able to help protect someone else who can't get it. It's all going to be a good meme. I want to go outside without my mask on normally. All right? I want to be able to hang out with my friends. All right? I would like to go visit some of my friends who I haven't been able to because they're living with their grandparents and they don't want to kill them. That'd be great. Just take the vaccine, dude. It's not that hard.